Tonight on KGW News, a winter storm shuts down major highways and leaves skiers struggling to get off the mountain.
Yeah, we had to dig out the car a couple times just to get out of government camp, so it was pretty crazy.
And we're seeing it with airlines and sports teams. The Omicron variant keeping more and more people off the job. So how will our healthcare systems cope as more staff contract COVID?
Omicron is having the same effect inside the hospital that it's having outside.
Plus, pausing extracurriculars in school. The request from state health officials to slow down the COVID surge. Your news starts now. We start here at 11 with good news for those who have to travel through the gorge. Interstate 84 and SR 14 have just reopened after being closed much of the day for heavy snow and ice. Conditions are still very treacherous out there, though. We'll have more on that just ahead. But first, a closure that's still in place. Highway 26 headed up to Mount Hood. Now, this is a live look at the ODOT camera there, and there is a line of semis waiting, hoping they'll be able to head east soon. The 26 closure stretches from Rhododendron east to the Wasco-Jefferson County line. And Highway 35 is closed around the east side of the mountain. We have team coverage on the winter storm situation tonight, starting with Catherine Cook. She spoke with people who got stuck in the mess on 26, many who'd hoped to hit the slopes today.
This is where most drivers headed to Mount Hood from Portland got turned around. ODOT closed Highway 26 from Rhododendron to Highway 35 because of all the snow. They also closed 35 to uphill traffic because of dangerous conditions. On Highway 26 near Rhododendron, tow truck driver Lance Boson has been going non-stop.
Oh yeah, very busy. Since about 7 a.m.
When we met him, he was about to tow this Jeep out to Beaverton. Yeoman's work in this much snow.
Yesterday I had someone tell me, that they really appreciate what we do and that we're out here actually doing it when a lot of people aren't.
The snow came fast and heavy on Mount Hood. The groundwork for an epic day on the slopes, but it wasn't meant to be at Ski Bowl or Timberline, where Mitch Montgomery was headed. Both resorts closed their lifts for safety.
That was a little dagger in the heart this morning when I found out. I was ready for it.
Others weren't so ready. Mitch gave him a hand.
I was getting ready to take off and I saw them looked like they were struggling a little bit. I figured I got nothing else to do today but help out and throw some chains on a car, so.
Yay!
Different story at Mount Hood Meadows, which did open on Monday. They got 25 inches of snow in 17 hours.
We were fortunate enough to get our crew up here before all the highway problems arose. And we also had a good number of guests up here too. Almost 1,000 people made it up here to go skiing and snowboarding.
Dave Tragathon with Mount Hood Meadows says they should know by 6 a.m. what they'll do on Tuesday as the snow keeps piling up.
This might be one for the records.
And if it wasn't for the road getting shut down, it would have been just like unreal.
As you can see, KGW digital producer David Mann loves to snowboard. He came within 20 minutes of the Mount Hood Meadows parking lot before traffic stopped and highways closed, forcing him to turn around. Like so many others, he's just glad he made it home safely.
A lot of disappointment today. Like, we drove back, there's still like hundreds of cars waiting to get up. But at the same time, it's going to be snowing all week, so I'm going to be back up soon.
Back off Highway 26, Lance has some advice for drivers thinking of heading back this way right now.
Don't, if you don't have to.
Near Rhododendron, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Oh, but isn't that skiing and boarding going to be great eventually? Interstate 84 and SR 14 may have reopened tonight, but here's a shot from ODOT late tonight that shows just how snow-covered the interstate is. This is at Cascade Locks. The snowfall has been intense since late yesterday. Some spots have seen more than 2 feet of snow in 24 hours. Drivers who made it through before the closure told us it wasn't just snow and slick roads causing problems.
Look at this.
Trees like crazy were just like covering the road, a lot of debris just from snow and ice piling onto the trees, crashing them down.
The roads may have reopened, but you still need to drive carefully. And it doesn't get much better as you head east either. Another section of I-84 is closed in eastern Oregon between Pendleton and Baker City. High winds and snow are making driving really difficult there. ODOT officials say some drivers are going around road closures and they're ending up stuck. ODOT warns there's little chance of getting rescued until conditions improve, and snow plowing is stopped in some areas because the snowplow drivers just can't see the road. You can check the latest closures before you head out at tripcheck.com. And now to the latest on our winter forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Matt Zafino. Matt, what can we expect?
Mother Nature continues to do yeoman's work up on the mountain with the snow just absolutely flying. I had to use it again. All right, let's check out the scene up in Timberline right now. The snow literally piling up as they work it and try to move it out of the parking lots. 18 degrees at Timberline. It's been there all day long. Temperature really all evening long. The temperature really hasn't moved. But what's super impressive are the snow totals. You've mentioned some of them, but here's the update. Timberline, 25 inches new in 24 hours. The base now is 122 inches. Think about that. A month ago, we had like 6 inches. Literally, at the beginning of December, there's like 6 inches of snow on the ground up there. Mount Hood Meadows, 22 inches in the last 24 hours. Ski Bowl, however, topping the list, 27 inches in 24 hours, and the base at Ski Bowl is now over 100 inches. You know it's a good year when we can get Ski Bowl up to 100 inches, and it's just the new year. There's still 2-3 months of ski season left, right? Hey, here's a cool picture from the gorge. This is out near Carson, Washington. Lexi sending in this picture of the snow hanging on the vine maples here. And this is after it had been knocked off several times. But again, it just shows you how much snow is out there. I also had a report of some freezing rain near Carson too, which we expected, but that just makes the roads even dicier. So great news that SR 14 and 84 are open. Still going to be really slow travel through the gorge. This is earlier in the day up near the Wind River Valley. Susan sending in this picture. There's a car, a 4Runner, buried underneath the feet of snow on the ground. Now on Doppler radar, we've had a cold rain in Portland, occasionally some snow in the West Hills, snowing again up on the mountain as you can see here, and still snowing in eastern Oregon. So it's going to keep up overnight. There'll be occasional breaks as we've moved into shower mode. The winter storm warning continues for much of the state with a winter weather advisory there in the gorge and continuing through much of the western United States. Still looking at 12 to 20 inches new by this time tomorrow night up in the Cascades and the gorge. Another 5 to 10. That's including what fell in the last couple hours. And the West Hills may even get an inch of snow tonight too. So the party just keeps on going, Laurel.
I bet you can't wait when it's safe to do so to get up there and check out that snow yourself.
I'll try to be at the front of the line.
I bet you will. Thank you, Matt. You can also get the latest updates on weather and traffic on the KGW News app. You can download it in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. In the pandemic, in the last 4 days, nearly 10,000 people in Oregon were infected with COVID-19. The Oregon Health Authority says 9,701 new cases of COVID-19 were reported from Thursday through Sunday. That includes a new record for the most cases in one day. On Thursday, 3,534 new cases were reported in Oregon. As COVID cases continue to surge, healthcare leaders worry a huge wave of cases will hit hospitals in the next week or two. So far, that has not happened, but hospitalizations are going up. This graph shows the number of people hospitalized in Oregon with the virus. The top line is all cases. The high point was September with more than 1,100 people. The current total is closer to 500. Experts like Peter Graven from OHSU, though, expect that number to soon go much higher.
What we're seeing is a trend, and it's zeroing in on Oregon next. And it's essentially imminent. We know that Omicron makes up a large share of all the cases right now, and is expected to spread through both the vaccinated and unvaccinated populations and shortly.
Graven pointed out that many who do not have booster shots are getting infected. He also said the number of children getting COVID is also on the rise. We've seen the impact the fast-moving variant is having on air travel. Thousands of flights are still being canceled every day, some because of weather, but others because the airlines have so many staff members out with COVID. The impact has also been obvious in the sports world. Just today, both Oregon and Oregon State's basketball games were postponed, and Portland State canceled games for later this week as too many players are out on COVID protocols. So we wanted to know, how are staffing levels looking for essential services like health care? As Alma McCarty found out, it's a big concern across the industry.
Well, from small pharmacies to big hospital systems, there's planning underway to deal with the Omicron surge. But with such a highly transmissible variant and the strain already on healthcare workers, considerable impacts to staffing may be inevitable.
At Brooklyn Pharmacy in Southeast Portland, signs on the door signal different COVID-related messages to customers, from vaccine availability to the lack of at-home tests.
So far, we've been really lucky, knock on wood, that we have not had any significant illness here, so we hope to continue that.
Owner Pat Hubble says his team is hard at work, filling orders, administering vaccines, and keeping up with safety measures as COVID cases begin to surge.
Protective plexiglass at the counter, spacing on the floor. My pharmacy, we have a small staff, and if we do have a small outbreak here, it can be a situation where we may have to close the doors for a day or two just to see if we can get everybody back on track before, we don't have any issues infecting anybody else.
On a larger scale,
really trying to protect against the tidal wave of community spread that ultimately will be here.
Virginia Garcia's Health and Safety Programs Manager Hazel Wheeler says they're also looking ahead while handling the current strains and shortages many systems are dealing with.
There will definitely be positives. There's just no way around that. And then the exclusions that will result from that and the contact tracing that we'll have to execute will definitely be something that we have to deal with. And I know that we're starting our planning on what that sort of constrained staffing looks like. But to this point, that's not really what the driver is of issues. It's just 2 years of a pandemic.
Kevin Mealy, spokesperson for the Oregon Nurses Association, says staff shortages have been an issue for a long time. So it will be even more of a challenge in the weeks and months ahead with a highly transmissible variant.
So those gaps that were always there are now more apparent because nurses aren't able to be the Band-Aid that stretches over them and holds them together. And the fact that we've been reliant on solutions like traveling nurses and the National Guard speaks to the staffing crisis we're feeling right now. Our hospitals were only able to run at a very stretched emergency capacity with those supports in place. Without them and with more cases, we're looking at a very dire situation.
To deal with the surge in cases and the staffing issues because of it, the ONA recommends bringing back members of the National Guard who filled essential roles during the most recent Delta surge, like bolstered testing and tracing.
Thank you, Alma. And today, as students across the state return to class from winter break, the state issued a new health advisory for school districts and the community. It doubles down on safety protocols and measures, asking districts to encourage vaccines, boosters, face coverings, and physical distancing. The bulletin also encourages districts to go further by pausing extracurricular activities.
If we have enough staff members and frankly even enough students who get breakthrough cases and have Omicron, then you will see some school closures.
Gill says districts choosing to continue with extracurricular activities should ensure the same safety measures as the regular academic school day are followed to avoid more cases and potential closures.